Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. My name's Anna Pirelli. The comments that you see here are my views, beliefs, opinions, and sometimes they are not even my fully formed views, beliefs, and opinions. However, they are my understandings. Please do retain an open mind and reflect on any of the content and your comfort levels. If your views differ, please feel free to leave a comment. Also remember, it is possible to disagree in respectful ways. My way is not necessarily your way and vice versa. You might also find that some of the content on this playlist in regard to spiritual or universal laws, it resonates with you, meaning it feels right to you, while other laws may not feel right or they may not feel comfortable. If this is the case, the information is either not right for you or it is not right for you right now, and it might never be right for you at any given time. It really doesn't matter. As an earthy and practical person, I can put my hand up with all honesty and say that I have at different times had the same feelings about some of the content in here. And with some of them, I still have a level of skepticism within my viewpoints, but I choose to retain an open mind about the things that I don't fully understand for a few reasons. Firstly, because I believe it would be supreme arrogance to think that we all know all of the answers while we have a body. And because what is right for one of us is not necessarily right or suitable for all of us, and I choose to respect the differences. Please do leave your opinions, beliefs. Feel free to argue the points in a respectful way with any of the content on the slides and even my interpretations. And if you feel that you can add clarity around some of the content, we would all love to see it. Thank you. For now, though, let's explore the laws.
All creation is governed by law. The principles that operate in the outer universe, discoverable by scientists, are called natural laws. But there are subtler laws that rule the hidden spiritual planes and the inner realm of consciousness. Contained within these laws, or conditions, is the true nature of matter. Knowledge of these laws has an effect upon the mental urges. Mind is the builder. Stay in full mindfulness of the application of universal law as related to self and to others, and know that in love all life is given, in love all things move. In giving one attains, in giving one acquires. In giving, love becomes the fulfillment of desire, guided and directed in the ways that bring the more perfect knowledge of self as related to the universal, all-powerful, all-guiding, all divine influence in life. Love is life. When we go back, merge with the God source, in some infinitesimal but profound way, we expand the mind of God. Our higher self always points the best and most perfect way, and it is ours to listen and choose or reject what we hear. It does not blame, but patiently tries again to show the perfect way, the loving way. All of creation pushes forth. We are ever becoming. Identity ever remains. Universal Law number 85, the law of love and light schools. This is a mysterious term used to cover the law as it affects the expansions of consciousness which an initiate undergoes, and has ability to attract to himself through knowledge. 1. His own higher self, so as to produce alignment and illumination. 2. His guru. 3. That which he seeks to know. 4. That which he can utilize in his work of service. 5. Other souls with whom he can work. This law applies to the initiate who has transcended the stage of self-consciousness.
So I must admit, when I read the term the law of schools, love and light, the first thing I think about, and I don't know about you, is some kind of formal educational facility, a building where you've got teachers and the teacher shares the information. People then get assessed on how much they've taken on board, and they have to obviously repeat units until they or repeat subject matter and whatever tests until such time as they pass the unit. However, through the reading of this law and unpacking it, I believe it applies to people and their own personal education. I actually probably would describe it that the School of Love and Light is our own one. It's us. we are our school of love and light, and we create the facility for our education through the desire for knowledge. And this particular desire of knowledge is the aspect of the higher self, that part of us that's connected to the Creator and where we're all interconnected, and it lies beneath the subconscious, of course, until such time as we've got this burning desire to know more, not only about our own lives or ourselves, but to feel that connection to the Creator on a conscious level, on a daily basis, basically. And this way we seek the means on how we can get to this space, how we can incorporate Creator into our daily activities, and how we can tap into that wonderful, beautiful energy of love. And personally, I think we get to that place and space in life by what we call kick butt. That's what it is. Kick butt lessons of life, not kick buck with a CK. It's definitely butt with a BUTT. Some really harsh lessons, I think, help to bring it home to us that yes, we seek to have this connection. So then if we look up the definition of guru, they're a Hindu spiritual teacher. There's no ifs or buts about this. That is what a guru is. Now, on the other hand, it can be interpreted as an influential teacher or popular expert, according to the dictionary, such as a management expert. But you're only ever going to find one spiritual form of teacher called a guru, and that is the Hindu masters. Now, so really speaking, anyone, and I don't think anybody does, that is not a Hindu. I really don't see that many people would be actually calling themselves a guru in the Western context anyway. I do know, obviously, many teachers that might be Reiki teachers or myself, or that teach psychic development, that we actually refer to a lot of these questionable teachers that you might find on social media as rugus. And it's always said with a bit of a laugh, which is, they're the guru that you have when you're not having a guru. Now, whether or not they're a rugu or a guru, the bottom line is you're going to learn from them. They're going to teach you stuff, and what they teach you will either be beneficial or not. And they will either teach you what is helpful or what to let go of. Ideally, whether they're good teachers or not, they're going to teach you at least certain skills to help you to promote your own self-awareness, raise your consciousness, your vibration, and develop ourselves, ideally. And of course, this is the process of seeking knowledge and information. And of course, when we look at this law as well, and I actually really like this law, it resonates with me because within the context, it's talking about the information and knowledge must have a purpose beyond just being, well, I know, you know what I mean? That whole studying for the sake of studying and finding information for the sake of information, which actually is one of the issues I have with these 105 laws when we do it. It's like, well, what's the point of them all? How much value do all of these laws offer us in a practical context as we live our daily life, walking the path, How relevant is this going to be? How applicable, So anyway, what I like about the law is it's saying it must have a purpose, it must be useful, and it needs to be relevant, and it needs to be able to be shared with others as part of assisting them to seek knowledge and raise their own connection, their vibration. And perhaps this is my projecting my stuff. It's got to be of love, it's got to be loving content, loving information that helps lift a person's spirits. And it has to be the type of information that they also can share with other people as part of helping them. So, we're talking to some extent about the butterfly effect or the domino effect that, you do for one and they do for another, and it just has this whole growth thing. And when I think about it, I guess in some ways, by opening up this channel here on YouTube, this is what I'm doing. I'm inadvertently, not deliberately, just following my guidance, creating a school of love and light so that other people can find information that might be useful and relevant to them and draw it on board for themselves, and then they can use it in the course of their daily lives in helpful and practical ways, and then share information with other people, as many as possible, so that they can also improve the quality of their lives and their soul evolution. I'd like to think that anyway. Now, as I unpacked this law, something came to me. I had a memory come back, and I thought I'll share it with you. It's a personal thing, but whatever. I was remembering when I did my Reiki 3 attunement, which is sometimes called Masters, and it made me question, I wonder if ultimately we all return to the Indian ethos or values or whatever in the process of our growth. And by that I mean, if not physically, then spiritually, because my recollection was one that when I was getting my attunement, my teacher actually stumbled in the middle of it. It was the first time I'd met him. We'd had phone contact before he came bush. I was living in the bush at the time, and we'd agreed that he would give me an attunement. Anyway, so it was the first day that I'd met him, and as he started doing the attunement, he fumbled in the middle of it, and then he stopped and he apologised to me because he said, I'm very awkward. He said to me, do you have a guide? Right? And I thought, well, of course I do. You know, what kind of silly question is that from somebody of his stature? And he said, no, I mean, do you have an Indian one? He said, because there is a spirit here. He's an Indian gentleman and he is wearing robes. He said, and he is scrutinising every move that I make, and I'm feeling a tad intimidated. He said that he wasn't frightened, but that he definitely felt a bit disconcerted. He said because he was actually being watched over and scrutinised very closely. And he said that he was able to understand that what this guide was doing was actually watching him to make sure that he was doing all his actions correctly. This is what he conveyed to me. Well, at that particular time, I had no idea that this guy was on the peripherals, right? But it just makes me realise, I think, that, well, certainly back then, I had come into that stage where I'd recognised that there was treasure in the Vedic teachings. Although I was not aware of the words or the language or the terms at the time, I certainly had become very aware that the people in India held a lot of the keys to the secrets and mysteries of spirit, for want of a better word. And this was way before I knew about yoga and chakras, I might add. Anyway, I might actually talk about that story another day and give you a bit more information. But for now, I'm going to leave this with you and ask you to tell me what your thoughts are. Do you have thoughts, feelings, beliefs? What's your experiences? Let me know in the comments. Take care. I'll speak to you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.